The National Youth Council is appalled by the news of the molestation of two little girls, aged 3 and 8. The mother of the victims returned to Saint Lucia after receiving word that one of the two siblings had taken ill, reported that a visit to the doctor revealed the traumatized young girl had also contracted a sexual transmitted disease. They were reportedly entrusted in the care of individuals known to their family. Now, the NYC is calling on the authorities to move with haste to bring the perpetrator of this heinous act to justice.
Generally, our view is that it should have been taken into consideration, especially by the justice system, a lot more serious than what it is right now, because we find that, especially over a year that it has been done, and considering the effects that these children are experiencing now as a result of that crime, we're saying that the justice system needs to move a lot quicker. We need to take this very seriously and ensure that the perpetrator is actually sanctioned before his crime. So overall, we're saying that we think much more needs to be done when it comes to crimes of, especially sexual assault against young girls, because it affects an entire generation. It affects our future, because these young girls will eventually be hurt to the point that they're affected emotionally, physically, and mentally, and that in turn will be a cycle that's sometimes very difficult to correct.
The NYC says it is important that the criminal justice system and institutions appear to be functioning in delivering convictions and results to avoid an heroism in trust. The lockdowns associated with the pandemic have only magnified the problems of sexual abuse and assault, especially of the most vulnerable, including minors who are spending more time at home. Treasurer of the NYC, Stacey Elva Lafayette, says, now more than ever, parents need to be extra vigilant and exercise due diligence.
We're encouraging parents to be more mindful that regardless of the fact that, supervision might be something that's a little more difficult right now, considering that schools are closed and most of the children are home while parents are at work. So sometimes it's a bit taxing, a bit difficult to get someone to supervise these children while they're at work, and they might probably trust them with anyone, be it a neighbor, be it a cousin, be it an older brother. But then we're encouraging parents to pay attention to the different signs, have communicate with their parents, with their children, ensure that they're asking them questions regularly and making sure that these children are exposed or informed or educated on stuff such as good touch, bad touch, and all of these different things that they need to pay attention to in order to let their parents know anytime that they realize something may be wrong with the guardian, or that person may be taking them or trying different things with them that should not be.
Lafayette encourages parents not to avoid the warning signs and continue to build trust with young children in ensuring they report such ghastly crimes. While the NYC representative welcomes greater attention on public sensitization, she believes the onus should be on institutions to get the message out in countering sexual abuse of minors.
Well, at this point, I wouldn't say we are satisfied, and one of the main reasons why we call out on parents and these institutions as well. Most times it is left onto the school, but I think other institutions such as the social workers and so on, I know in some schools the social workers would visit and they would have these conversations with children, and even as you mentioned, with different resources such as chats and videos and so on, you would see these in schools, but recently it is not something that is very evident. And we believe we need to go back to these things to ensure that children are made aware of these things, whether it is that maybe the government, so to say, may push in as well and ensure that these advertisements are pushed into these children's regular programming.
The situational analysis of children in Saint Lucia by UNICEF revealed that the number of child abuse cases reported over the period of 2010 to 2015 totaled 1,341. Sexual abuse was the most common type of reported child abuse, accounting for 34% of all reported cases. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.